Hello, everybody, and welcome to the second episode of The Last Ingress. If you were here last week, you can probably already tell a bit of a difference in the addition of a fifth player over there. Why the fuck doesn't that look right?
It looks fine. Shut up and keep going. Love
Now
you,
it
Sean.
does. There we go. Yes, hello. Hi. So, welcome back to everyone who was here last week. And hello to anyone who may be a completely new viewer. Um, we're still getting started on everything, so there's not really any announcements or things of the like to get to. Um, you know, just to say that if you like the game and wish to support us, spread the word about the Twitch as much as possible so that we can get the higher benefit levels and eventually get subscriptions underway and things of that nature. So we can provide you guys with more content and more bonuses for supporting us. Until then, we do have a Patreon with multiple different tiers ranging all the way from just $1 all the way up to I think like $30 or $50. So choice is yours. So go over to patreon.com/thelastingress if you want to support us that way. We also have a YouTube channel where last week's video is already up. It was a little late this first week, but going forward, the VODs of Wednesday's stream will always be up by Saturday on the YouTube channel. We also have a Facebook, both a page and a group if you want to follow us there, where we'll post announcements and things of that nature. And we also have a Twitter at The Last Ingress. So before we jump right in, Zach, if you don't mind giving, since you weren't here last week, just giving everyone a brief introduction of yourself, nothing to do with your character, just give us a name and your experience both with like role-playing games in general and specifically with The Last Ingress.
Okay. Hi, my name is Zach, and I've been DMing pretty much as long as I've been playing D&D. I think maybe 6 months I was playing, and then I've been DMing for probably about 10 years. Apart from that, it's been mostly D&D, 5th edition, 3.5. Dabbled in World of Darkness a lot too, and GURPS. But apart from that, it's mostly been D&D, and then the LARPing community, also the role play aspect of that. But that's about it. Just mostly tabletops and a lot of DMing. So I'm definitely excited to actually play.
Yeah, because this will be Zach's very first experience at all with this game, so
Yes.
we'll see how much he fucks it up.
All right.
Okay, so with that, I think we're ready to jump into this week's episode of The Last Ingress. So I'll ask you guys, what happened last time?
I did some stylish falling.
Okay.
I made
We-
everyone breakfast,
That's true.
You did. You did.
and I
We
arrived in style, I like to think.
we met our instructor Lilith and got to show off what skills we do or don't have.
Mostly don't.
Oh, yummy.
No, y'all did great. Yeah, but that pretty much sums up what happened last time. Everybody kind of had their last completely free night to themselves between becoming apprentices. Everyone got their information packet as to the name of your teacher, Master Lilith, and the location and time that she requested you guys to meet up the following morning, which was the training grounds on the campus of the Citadel. And so one by one, everyone showed up. did some brief introductions to each other, and then Lilith requested you guys to give a demonstration of not the height of your power, not the best you could do, but the most representative of what you could do, of a demonstration essentially of who you were. And we pretty much finished just as Rook, the last one to go, demonstrated his abilities. And so we pick up there. So everyone's given their demonstrations, and Lilith is kind of back into her like her files and everything, kind of looking around, and she looks up to address all of you again, but seems to stop before she even begins speaking, as she looks like just to the left of you guys, essentially in the direction that you guys came, and kind of like under her breath, but loud enough for all of you to hear, she just says, "Everybody get up and be good." And for anybody that turns around, you would see a tall figure in a hooded cloak made of white leather with a chain around the collar, with the hood pulled up, obscuring most of their face. But as they approach, you can see this long, kind of light blue hair extending out from underneath of it. And next to them is a young boy, seemingly about the same age as the rest of you, but relatively disheveled looking. Seems to be, whatever minuscule amount of clothes they're wearing seem to be handmade, and not the best of quality. And it pretty much looks like someone just dragged this boy out of a forest. And as these figures begin approaching, Lilith once again kind of mutters to you guys, okay, big respect, everybody. Stand up straight. Smiles if it fits your face. This is... And she then speaks loudly, both as a greeting and a explanation / introduction to the lot of you. Grandmaster Kaisis, how can we help you today? So the rest of you either specifically or vaguely know the hierarchy of the order. Is like there's students at the very bottom, everyone who is brought in, and the children kind of going through their schooling. And then there's you guys, the apprentices, the not children but still young and green and needing of training. And then there's the masters, journeymen, and operators are kind of all at the same level. It's one of the three paths you choose upon graduating from becoming an apprentice. But above that, there are the High Masters, then the Grand Masters, and finally a singular Overmaster above the entire order itself. So essentially walking towards you is like a member of the Grand Master Council with this soggy child. And
I hate that description.
I don't like it either.
Wait until you get to know their personality.
Oh boy.
But they begin to approach you, and they stop about 5 to 10 feet away. And you guys would look over and see Lilith giving a not a like completely like bent bow, but enough of one to where her eyes like don't meet the Grandmaster anymore, and she kind of like looks over at you guys to make sure that you're all at least doing something similar.
I'm already bowing.
Already bowing. Yep.
Same.
I mean, like, not just but like. Full half almost.
I am in my own crotch.
Yeah.
I'm not quite there. Slightly less that.
Good to know Rook isn't in Lucier's crotch. Yet.
Oh man.
Damn.
I said yet. There's still time.
Oh, okay.
Listen, we're underage. It's okay. Just stop.
Sure.
Yeah, I kind of have
Forget
to
that we're a child.
keep that in mind
Child.
too.
Children.
Um,
Children.
but yeah, so ensuring that everyone's doing the same. Like after a couple moments, she stands back up again, as the rest of you can as well. And like as you come up, you notice that this Grandmaster was giving a slight bow as well, more of just greeting than any sort of respect, but did so. And he finally speaks to you all and says, "Yes, good morning, Master Lilith. I know this may be a bit of a surprise. It wasn't necessarily on the docket for today, or the next few years, potentially. But, well, we know you already have 4 in your squad, which is above the normal, but things have come up with various people, and we will need to be adding 1 more. And you guys don't necessarily feel it, or don't see it, but you feel this kind of stiff coldness suddenly wash off of Lilith, and she's just like, oh? And, Grandmaster Kaisus just kind of nods and says, yes, a, peculiar situation has arisen, and we will, need you to train this one. And,
Scruff.
he what? No. He like he just kind of. It was meant to seem like a gentle pat, but it was more of a shove, to this boy who like stumbles forward like a little bit.
Boy.
And Kaisus kind of like looks down at him and says, "Well, don't be rude, for once. Introduce yourself."
Do you want me to describe my character first?
Yeah, because
Or do you have
let me look, because I can't remember if I have the picture of him or not. I think I do, though. But still,
Okay.
go ahead, in your own words.
Yeah, so kind of like just pull up pants that are very dirty and tattered, have smears of what you hope is mostly dirt, but who knows. Tattered flip-flops, and then just kind of a long, ripped up overcoat, greasy hair with stuff stuck in it. Kind of tall for this age. What are we, 13, 14, 15?
Yeah,
I think we're-
between 12 and 14.
Yeah.
Oh, 14. Okay. He'd be on the older side, so probably about 14. 6 foot almost, more like 5'11". I've got 1 blue eye and 1 brown eye, tan, and just very obviously disinterested and disheveled, kind of like digging in my ear and kind of looking at it, and I just go, "Oh, I'm Popoki. You can call me Key." And I just flick it on the ground.
Kais is just like, fantastic. I feel like you'll all get along great. Well, if there's no other questions, I'll be going. And without even seeing if anyone has any, Kaisus just turns and starts leaving.
Yeah, as was
Yeah.
Lucier was would have immediately been like the teacher's pet. So, oh,
Me?
okay.
Yeah, and I mean, like, like even Lilith is like, oh. And she kind of looks down at you, Key, and it's just like, hello.
Hey.
Okay.
I'm just gonna take out my phone and just start playing some kind of game on my phone.
Snake.
Yeah, there we go.
He has a Nokia brick.
Yeah, it's not even like the
So
standard
outdated.
issue one that they literally give everybody.
He
It's,
intentionally
it's like a
plays off the
Nokia 8500.
Hey, Key.
Yeah, so
Hey, Key. My name's Lucier. What's your specialty? What do you do?
Oh, I can show you.
Yeah, sure.
He just kind of like concentrates and starts grunting, and then I turn into a small bush.
that's
that,
it. Like,
I assume that's a form of. I assume that's within the realm of transmutation.
Oh, are you talking to the bush at this point? You don't hear any
No,
response.
I'm asking Story Master. Is that in the
Oh.
realm of transmutation, or is that like?
you know what? You're not entirely sure what happened.
Oh,
Did he
that's
stop the push? Or turn
that's
it?
interesting.
Anyone else confused?
This whole
No,
time,
no,
Rook is just like deadpan staring at all of this.
So he's a nature boy.
I'm gonna shape shift back now, so I'm not
Okay.
just a bush.
Well, there's your use for the day.
All right. Yeah,
Is
like I do plant stuff. I know a lot about plants.
Okay, that's cool. I
Yeah.
studied some plants myself, but I'm not super versed in them.
Yeah, just woodsy stuff. You know, you need to make a tent. I got you. Or animals. I like animals.
Is that kind of why you're so like covered in dirt and stuff?
No, that's because I like keep trying to leave and they keep bringing me back. Long story.
Oh.
Oh, okay.
Rook would like to ask Lilith a question.
Yeah.
Yeah, and she's just been staring at Popoki like this whole time, especially since he turned into a bush and back. Cause like she's pretty much just as like confused as the rest of you.
Okay, yeah.
And so she just kind of like kind of notices you, Lucier, like out of the corner of her eye, and she just yes.
No, I didn't have a question.
Oh,
It
who
was-
had
No,
the
it was
question?
Rook.
Oh, right. Sorry,
Rook.
you were holding the thing, so I thought it was you in game holding your hand up. Sorry.
No, sorry.
So she looks at Rook and is like, "Yes, Rook."
Isn't this pretty unusual?
It is.
Yeah.
This is exceptionally unusual. I've never heard of this happening. I know as much as you do about the situation.
Oh.
So, here's what's gonna happen right now. The five of you chat and get to know each other. I'm gonna go make a phone call.
While
And-
she's sorry, go ahead.
And it just ends with, and when I get back, and she just walks away.
While she was talking and like specifically talking to Rook at first before she turned to us, Lucier was already like, Lucier. I kept saying Lucier. I need to get my own shit straight. Lucier kind of just starts like trying to use transmutation magic and is like at first messing with his fingers to turn them into roots,
Okay.
just to see what happens.
Yeah, I mean, like, if it's anything more than this, it'll be a magic check. But yeah, like you like look at your hand and kind of concentrate on it, and yeah, like the like tips of your fingers start to like turn into that kind of like knotted vine texture and like extend a little bit. Yeah, if you're wanting anything more than that, I'll have you make a check. But like it's pretty basic. What he did is very clearly like pretty advanced.
Yeah.
Turning your entire form into a smaller, denser bush. But he did it.
Speaking of, I'm gonna be taking like little snacks out of my pockets and throwing them into another bush that's behind me. Just to just let you know I'm doing that.
There wasn't a bush there when you guys
Yeah.
arrived.
I was gonna say the leaning thing was in game with Taka
Okay.
and Lodraken. They just comically like look with like Lodraken poking out behind him. Just
Oh yeah. So Zach, from your perspective, so you see a like it's a group of boys all around your age. One of them has slicked back white hair with bright green eyes and like an emerald green jacket, and like pressed pants, very like military school-esque. One of them's a bit of a shorter, stockier individual, with like an undercut and like dark brown hair, blue shirt, with a shield with gears on it, the exact same size as he is.
I figured that was you, Nick.
The one who's been asking all the questions also has this like light gray hair pulled back into like a messy bun, and like pretty normal clothing, but appears to be wearing like a lab coat, and has those like the like blue light glasses, so they have like a kind of orangish tint to them. And a tablet on their person. And then there's an electrified lizard boy.
yeah, that's right.
With an enormous dinosaur lizard-like creature studded with blue gems or crystals all across them. This thing is just like 20 foot tall and behind that boy.
I'm gonna try and give it some jerky. Just, I'm gonna take one of my snacks and just try and feed that lizard. Lizards love jerky. Just, it'll be an upward offer.
So Taka, Lodraken, like, he looks down at Popoki and then like just looks down at you, and just in your head you hear like, is that okay? No one besides you's like offered me food before. Should I take it?
I think it's an offering of friendship. I think it would be rude to refuse. Don't eat him. Eat the jerky.
The jerky.
What if I eat some of him?
No, we don't eat teammates. Remember, we had this conversation.
Fine.
Wait. Never mind.
Also Loki dial.
So Popoki, this enormous lizard like looked down at this other boy who looked back up, and they seem to have this kind of silent conversation, which you understand the essence of. Then it looks back at you and just leans down without breaking eye contact, and just as its tongue like caresses your palm, you feel like, have you ever like had a CRTV on just like a static channel and like ran your hand down it? Yeah, it's like his tongue feels like that.
Yeah.
All right, well, I'm going to use the leftover saliva on my hand to slick my hair back.
Cool.
Get that out of the way.
The static in it immediately pushes it back out to where it was.
Oh, perfect.
But jerky successfully taken. And you know what? I'm gonna have you roll a roll an appeal check for me. I want to see how well made this jerky was.
Yeah, I was gonna ask Lodraken, how was the snack? The snacrifice.
So I just add the whole appeal score, correct?
Yep.
Yeah.
Okay, 7.
Okay. So he eats it up, and obviously it's gone like a fucking Tic Tac.
Sweet.
But like his eyes stay on you, for just a little bit longer, but then he kind of blinks and like looks back down to Taka, and Taka, in your head you hear, "Yeah, he's all right." and Lodraka just kind of turns around and goes back to his like spot that he was at next to the field and just sits down.
Oh.
Yeah, Taka just nods and he's like, "So I guess the sacrifice is acceptable."
Adequate.
He just nods. Something you would notice, Key, is that the lizard boy also has one brilliant blue eye and one molten gold eye.
Okay.
Lucier, is hand?
Yes, I turned myself into a hand,
Oh, okay.
Oh.
and it's just giving everyone the bird. No, I feel like that's a bardic thing anyway. And while all that was going on, and I'll do a magic check for it, but I essentially want to, like, the tips of my fingers like extend, go into the ground, and I want to go tie someone's shoelaces together. I don't care who.
It can't be me, I'm barefoot.
And I'm wearing flip flops.
I am a flip flop. All right, give me just a second.
Well,
So, Key, Sigmund is the slick back blonde hair, green jacket, JROTC boy.
Okay.
So, yeah, he approaches you and kind of takes a wary look at you, and reaches into his like knapsack that he has and offers you a can of hair wax, and says, "Hi, I'm Sigmund."
I'll take it from you, open it up, put a little on my finger, and use it like chapstick. And let's go. Thanks, I'm Key. Then I put it in my backpack and just keep it.
Nice to meet you, Key.
Nice to meet you too. Thanks
I
for the lip
imagine-
wax.
I just
You're
lips
so welcome.
peeling away.
Yeah, without even taking a step in your direction or really saying anything, Rook is just gonna like wave and just leave it at that.
I'm tying Rook's shoelaces
Give me a
together.
small wave.
All right, Lucier, go ahead and make me a moderate magic check, and I'll give you. There'd probably be transmutation, so I'll give you your school for it.
Okay. I rolled it when I first start saying it. That's fine, unless you want me to reroll it.
Nope, that's fine.
But I meet the thing at a 16. So.
Okay. All right then. Yeah, it's definitely, this is not something you've really tried before, so it's a little difficult to like, like concentrate on like the changing yourself and then also maneuvering underground and like doing all the intricate maneuvers. But you do manage to do so. Well, you managed to manifest the magic. I'll have you make a celerity check. And Rook, you go ahead and make me an appeal check to see if you notice it.
Oh boy.
Appeal or intellect, I'll let you choose.
I'm gonna go with intellect because I actually have a number on that. I rolled a 4.
I rolled a 6, so.
Okay, so yeah, you successfully do it, and he does not notice. So we'll see where that goes.
It comes back, and I'm like 5 to 10 feet away from Rook. I'm like, "Hey, Rook, what you care about? I looked at your shield.
What now?
Your shield."
You just like turns it towards you.
No, like I want to like hold it and actually check it out. If that's all right.
Roughly how far is he from me?
Like 5, 10 feet.
No. It'd be rude to toss it at that distance. Alright. He's gonna attempt to walk towards you.
That's a fair question.
It's you
Okay.
know, it would require enough effort. He'd be afraid of blunt force trauma.
Fair enough. All right, yeah. So you get up and take a step to start walking towards him. Go ahead and make me a celerity check at disfavor.
Okay, so roll twice, take the lower.
Correct.
That's the right die, right? Okay, that's a 12 and a 10.
Okay. Even with those, I'll say that like basically you take a step forward and you like jerk a little bit as something catches. But the knot wasn't quite as secure as Lucier would have wanted it to be, and so like you do like stumble a bit, but you don't fall on your face or anything, and you look down and just see that your boots are untied.
Okay, that's weird.
Before something?
He's gonna hand his shield off to Lucier.
Okay.
Just, you notices and just like, and then
I
tries to
take it.
hand it to.
Yeah, I was gonna say like Lucier. Now you go ahead and make me a power check, please.
While he's dealing with that, I'm gonna tie my shoes.
Okay.
Excuse me.
10.
Okay, so yeah, it is definitely like, with how he's been literally throwing it around, you would imagine it to be pretty light, but as soon as you take a hold of it, it's as if it's like actual weight takes form, and this thing is probably like a good 300 pounds.
Yeah.
So it just kind of like drops the point into the ground.
Yeah. Yeah, it's a good like 6 inches into the mud.
Ah. Now that's interesting. Does it feel this heavy to you?
No.
You must just be a
He
bitch.
doesn't even look
Yeah.
up from tying his shoes.
Alrighty then.
I'm sorry to interrupt game real quick. T, are you just eating salmon out of a can?
Honestly, I wish the answer was yes, and I could just hold up a can of fish and show you. But no, it was mixed nuts.
Okay.
I also have that as a snack.
Okay. Is there any other fun bit of roleplay anyone wants to do with each other?
Nah, Taka's just been munching on his omelet and watching from over by Lodraken.
What do you mean munching on an omelet?
The breakfast I made?
Right.
Yeah, you fuck.
Again, 14-year-old children, honey. Mind out of gutter, please.
Oh, there it is.
The mind or the head?
All right.
That was the mind.
So, couple minutes go by, and eventually Master Lilith walks back over, Zach, for you, since again you weren't here last time. Doodly doo.
Doodah.
This is Master Lilith.
Gotcha.
There she is. I'll just send you the rest of the other ones later.
Yeah.
They'll probably be up on the Discord or something. So she comes back over, like, head down, kind of staring at nothing, slipping her phone, like, back into her jacket pocket, and she's like, well, everybody, it does seem like Grandmaster Kaisis was correct. We have 5 members in our squad now, so welcome, Popoki, and she takes out her phone again and looks at something as if she's like just making sure, like, and Hakutaku, am I getting that right?
Yeah, he just likes Haku. Haku's
Okay.
fine.
Haku, is he here? You look a little bushy, but I'm not sure if that's.
No, he's right there. And then this A bush about the same size that I was, kind of just stands up on its root tips like a spider and crawls over and just sits next to me.
I do
And I just
not
kind of
like
give it
that
a little
word.
I
pat.
have no like.
And like from deep within the like foliage, you guys see these like 8 red points of light that all like blink at like different intervals.
I don't like it.
I'm not gonna lie, Lucier screams a little bit and emits a the mystic blast, but it's completely off.
Just not
It's just
at anything,
completely-
just like
He reactionarily starts to go for the bush and he's like, wait, that's a call. It just goes up in the air.
and
Oh,
even
not
Master,
monster.
like even Master Lilith, like as this thing starts like again, she knew it must be connected to you because it wasn't there before, but now seeing how it moves and how it exists,
Things are answered.
yeah, and she's just like okay, that's what okay. Just you see the realization
This
going
is
through her
fine.
head that like this may be the next decade for me.
Just nightmare bushes and
Depending on
explosions.
how this kid does, who knows how long it'll take him to graduate. Yeah, so that's happening. And she's just like, okay, well, overall nothing, I guess, has changed.
So can we get a mission? Is that what we're doing next?
Yes, actually, thank you, Lucier. So now that
Okay.
we've had our introductions and everyone has gotten to know each other a little bit, I figured we might as well just jump into things. Now, especially for the foreseeable future, I will be fielding all of your guys' missions and dealing with where we go and when and the
Wait,
threat level.
you're gonna be with us?
Oh yes, absolutely. I'm not sending you guys into this thing by yourselves. I will be accompanying you on all your missions unless something weird comes up. But that won't be for quite some time.
How do you know it won't be for quite some time if it's something suddenly weird?
You know, I didn't think about that.
Like it could be tomorrow. Well, something just blows up.
I just want to say every time either of you says the word something weird, Rook just pointedly looks at Haku.
Talk is like latched onto the side of Lodrokin, just glaring daggers at the spider bush. He is not a fan.
Unless something weird comes up.
So
As you're saying that, just this thorny tentacle comes out of the bush and just kind of wraps around my shoulder.
Makes it worse.
Don't
I just
like
gotta give it a little pat.
I don't like
It's okay, buddy.
You said a little pat, and I pictured a miniature person called Patrick for some reason. Don't know why.
I give it a little pat.
Your call has a call.
Carnivorous bush.
Of course it is. That's the only way this could get better.
Oh boy. Here we go.
So, Master Lilith goes on to explain that
Ooh.
she says, so missions are broken down into a ranking system based on their overall difficulty and potential threat and things like that. The higher the ranking, obviously the more dangerous the mission, but usually the better the rewards as well. I'm going to keep us on the low end, and I've chosen 5 different missions for us: 2 F rank, 2 E rank, and a D rank. And
Gonna do all of
she
them?
kind of like pulls out her files again. And she says, let's see. The first one seems to be an owner of a bookshop in town has been hearing some. Oh, they reported seeing with their own eyes a stigma in their basement.
It was the bush.
That's kind of like hold
Look
the
at
bush and look at you.
That wasn't in game, but
Oh,
And she says, and that was 3 days ago. So, the rewards, as usual, are any materials dropped, and 150 credits each. Let's see. The other F rank mission is materials dropped and 100 credits. And it seems that a family in White Arch reported stigma in their attic. So they would like someone to go look at that. Let's see, the 2 E rank missions. Do any of you know a singer named X Sight? You guys can roll intellect checks or appeal checks. I'll give you either.
16 intellect.
He said appeal.
Yeah.
13.
I got a 3 on intellect.
Cool.
I know nothing.
got a 4.
That makes sense for what it's for.
Yeah.
For the
Sigmund?
feral child.
Yes. I said it, but I was muted because I'm dumb. I got a 12 on intellect.
Okay. So Taka, Lucier, and Sigmund, you know that X-Site, the stage name of a famous pop singer whose real name is Candice Baker. And so Lilith continues and says, this singer, I guess, I'm not too familiar, is requesting some bodyguards from the Order for an evening. I guess she says that she would feel better protected from Awakened. Okay. Oh, and the rewards for that one are 200 credits each, and free concert tickets. That's nice. Let's see, the other E rank. Apparently the home of an individual in the Prominence District has become infested with a swarm type stigma. The rewards for that are 300 credits each, though. And then finally, the highest one that I felt would be comfortable for a first time, if you guys decide to try the threat, is 400 credits each. And that is in the the small town just outside the capital's walls, Gracia. I guess one of the neighborhoods there called Phaedra Park is being accosted by some sort of red stigma that is only appearing at night and apparently hard to track.
Ooh.
So those are our options. If you guys have any questions, want me to repeat any of them, I'll give everybody a couple minutes to discuss things amongst yourselves and see what you're all feeling.
Taka very sheepishly raised his hand.
Yes, Taka.
Teach. How many of those are in actual buildings?
Well, I guess technically the first one, because they said that that's in a basement.
Didn't the second one mention an attic?
Yeah, the second one's in an attic.
There was a house.
Yes, the infestation of the house, but the with who the owner of the house is, I don't doubt that it's a fairly large place.
Hey, if you destroy the house or something, no more infestation at the house either.
Well, let's not try and go that route primarily.
Maybe not lead with that option.
I'm just saying, the worst comes to worst, we have, the fallback plan.
uh, I would suggest we either go for the protection route because I think we have a decent lineup to be able to pull that off, or the tracking the one at night because it's got the highest payoff and money is good.
Well, also, when are these all need to be done? Because we might be able to do the one in town at the bookstore today, since it's in
Valid
town,
point.
and then go do another one.
Valid point.
I vote Creepy Park, unless we wanted to think about maybe trying to take care of both of the at-home ones, the basement and the attic. Because I think we could either we might be able to pull off both of those. They sound smaller, or we could do the one in the scary park.
Wait, do we? Words. Do we have time frames for these?
Not really. Some of them, like
I mean, I
most of them
think the
need to be taken
protection one
care
is a
of.
certain day.
Well, like most of them, I was planning on it either being tonight or tomorrow, depending on which one you took. The one for the singer is tonight. That's a specific day, and obviously, if you guys were wanting to check the stigma in Phaedra Park, again, they're saying it only appears at night. But the other ones don't necessarily have to be done during a particular time of day, but seeing as they are in residences, I would imagine that we should get them taken care of as quickly as possible to get these people back to their normal lives.
How long till the protection duty starts?
Let's see. Her concert ends. Well, the concert itself starts at 8 p.m. is scheduled to end at 10:30. And you're essentially escorting her from the concert to her hotel, which is about a 45-minute walk. And they are requesting that it is a kind of private, off the beaten path thing, as to not, draw attention.
Out of game, I don't mind the idea of doing the protection job, but as a character, Sigmund would not be as big of a fan of that. He would view it as more of like our duty to be fighting stigma, and would want to pursue one of those.
Lucier just wants to do anything. He actually.
What if we did the smaller residential ones first, and if we only got to one of them, whatever, but then we could also do the protection one after that.
Well,
Yeah, because again, like even now, like it's only 10, like maybe like 10:30.
Rook is more interested in making money, so I like this.
We could sell the concert tickets.
How far apart are these? Because I don't have a map of anything, other than like the grand world, basically.
How, like
How
everything's
far apart?
everything's here,
What
like
reasons?
in the capital.
Would we reasonably be able to go and do one of the residentials and make it to the concert?
Yeah, you could absolutely do that. So like the first one with the basement is in the Victory District, which is so the basement, the attic, and the infestation are all in the city. Which even as big as it is with the public transportation the way it is, you'd be able to get around easy enough. The concert is also the concert and the hotel are also within the city, and so the the town of Gracia is, again, it's outside the capital, but like just outside. So yeah, basically transportation between all of them would be like doable like within the day. You could for sure get 2 of them done.
So do you think we'd be able to? Well, once we drop off the singer at their hotel, are we done with that one?
Yes.
Okay,
Yeah, we
so
can go
why
to the
don't
park
we?
after that.
Yeah, I was gonna say,
Mhm.
why don't we do a residential, the protection, then the park?
Yeah,
I like
Yeah,
that.
yeah, you could actually try for all 3.
I like that.
Okay.
And
The
then-
bookstore, I think, pays the most out of the residentials. I think it was 150.
Yeah, it was 150 for the
Basement
bookstore,
was
100
or
for the attic.
attic was
Well, no,
100.
the infestation's going to be the most at 300 each.
Okay, so we can do the. But where's the infestation? Was that in the Gracia?
No, that is in
Well,
the Prominence District, which like anyone from the capital would know that like the Prominence Sigmund, that's the district your family lives in. If that gives you the indication. Yeah, so for anyone else like from the capital, that's like, you know, like high class residential.
rich
Snooty.
people.
Yeah.
So let's go do that one. Then the protection. Then the tracking, the park.
Okay.
I like this.
And yeah, like it's like, okay, I like the spirit.
And then tomorrow we can do the other 2, right?
or we can like take a day off.
No, we gotta
Yeah.
make money.
I'm
Take a day off after
to
that.
stay busy personally.
Let's get them all done, then we'll take a day off, or even 2 if we need to.
Akka
Work days
skirts
in a row.
around the spider bush and like goes over to Lilith and kind of like tugs on her jacket, and it's like, Teach, we have a slight problem, at least for a couple of these.
Yes.
And he just like puts a thumb back towards Lodraken.
Right. She like looks and is like, right. Well, luckily for you, I have a temporary solution for that. And she reaches into her pocket and kind of rifles around in there. And actually, like, you see her hand, like, she like keeps rifling, but like keeps leaning down until like her arm up to her elbow is in this pocket that is very clearly not that big.
Yeah, and he's just kind of staring at her like confused, concerned, unsure of what to do.
And
Is that her
eventually,
jacket pocket?
yeah, it's basically like a pocket that has like an extra dimensional space.
Yeah, but is it on her jacket or is it like
Yes, yeah. So the
Okay.
blue like jacket that she's wearing, there's a pocket in that. And so she like goes up to the elbow and is like, there it is. And she pulls out this small disc that has a C like not emblazoned, like stamped
Embossed?
into it. Embossed,
Etched.
thank you. Embossed into it. And she like kind of like hands it out to you. And she says, this is what's called a communion. Keep it on your person, and if you ingest it, you will gain the abilities that essentially you currently have. You'll have all of your powers that you would have if Lodraken was here, with him not being here. The caveat to that is, again, it's eaten, and it lasts for 1 hour. And so, as I said, I give this one to you as a welcoming gift. But from here on out, you will have to go buy your own.
Hey,
Yeah, I'm
Keith, I
gonna
got a
need
question.
one. I'm pretty sure jobs are gonna take more than an hour.
Well, then I would wait until you need it.
Rook perks up. Well, would Rook have been able to overhear any of that interchange?
Yeah.
Okay. Rook perks up. From what I understand of the district we're going to, Lodraken might actually be able to help us particularly on the outside. While some of the infestation might be inside the house, there's no guarantee that whatever we kick up is going to stay inside the house. And having that outside the house might prevent them from going anywhere. might keep our problem where we can handle it.
Yeah, and I will say, like, they're for the moment, there is no like distance you need to remain within your call in order for your powers to still be active. So, for example, if you do what Rook suggests and basically like summon Lodraken but have him stay outside the house and you go in, like your powers will still work. And also, you can still summon your call while under the effects of a communion.
Mm-hmm. And he just kind of takes all that in and is just like, I'm gonna tuck that away, and like Lodraken just hears Taka's voice in his head. I'm starting to get nervous.
Someone messing with something? Because I keep hearing like a popping noise or something.
It's Nova chewing her Benabone. Can you like toss that in the hallway?
Yeah.
Just so she's close enough to let us know if she needs to go potty or something, but so that the mics aren't picking up her.
Please keep it out in the
On
hall.
bed.
Even been like 30 minutes since he peed last time.
Now here's my question. Was that something that as T was sitting there was like, oh, I kind of have to go to the bathroom. I'm going to make this sign and be funny. Or do you think this was something he was planning the entire week?
Yes.
I think he's had that ready.
Also, I just want to say that on the stream, it
just says PP.
Off, it just says PP, yeah.
Yeah.
That's great. That's perfect.
Hey, Teach. Is it possible to shrink a call with transmutation?
You could try. I'm guessing something of his magnitude would be a little tough, but we could try.
I want to try it. If Taka and Lodraken are fine with it.
Well, I suppose that would be a question for them.
Taka looks at Lodraken just with a worried look.
And you do see, like, Lodraken isn't looking at you, Taka. He's just looking at Lucier with, like, kind of squinted eyes. And, like, without turning away, like, Taka, you hear in your head, is that one trying to make me smaller?
I think it's so you can help us if we are in a really tight spot. I don't think he's trying to tone down your majesty. You're still going to be amazing.
I'm gonna try it on myself first, and I start trying to shrink myself.
Okay. How small? So obviously, like, even with your guys's childlike years, I'm still considering everybody medium.
What are the size categories? Is it
so below that would be small and then tiny.
Okay. How small is small?
I would consider small from 4 feet down to 2.5 feet.
Okay. Well, I want to try to go to small first. So, like, around, I would say, well, I'm just over 5 foot, so I want to make myself as tall as I am. So, like, 2'6", 2'8".
Okay.
Go.
I would say. I would say that that's gonna be moderate. And I'll give you your school.
16, so that meets.
Okay. Yeah, so once again it's a struggle as it's not something you've tried before, but the rest of you watch as well, Lucier, how does your magic look? I'll let you describe it.
So for a brief second, it's like nothing happens, and he's just kind of like, "Well, this is weird," as he just suddenly shrinks down, in a very dim bit of light goes out from him.
I was gonna like kind of like the Ant-Man effect, where there's like a couple like you see like the after images until you're just that size.
Yep. Oh boy, yeah, this is extremely odd. So this is what midgets feel like.
Do we just see him like disappear?
I mean, again, like he goes from his normal height to like he said like 2.5 feet.
So hobbit sized. Got it.
Yeah.
I bet I can go even farther. I'm gonna go farther.
Okay, for that, I'll say make a major magic check.
That backlashes.
Oh no.
Really?
Yeah, I rolled a 1.
Oh,
Plus 10, so I got an 11, but the backlash is 15 or less, so.
Sure is. And with that, Lucier disappears into the quantum realm.
Oh.
No, so
I shrink down to like rounded game size, where I'm just like slightly smaller than a blade of grass, basically.
So you concentrate on like condensing your form even further, but the magic like just like you're trying to like push two magnets together, the magic slips and it instead rebounds the opposite direction, and you guys are suddenly staring at a 12-foot tall giant Lucier.
Oh no, it seems to have shrunk up.
Who's very suddenly disorientated until he shrinks down to his normal form. It won't be a ton, but Lucia, you'll take 1 point of damage. Hey, the first point of damage in the campaign.
And I did it to myself.
And you did it to yourself by trying to be Ant-Man.
What if there was like one bone that stayed at the size that it was when he was 12 feet? So like the rest of him shrank back down to normal, but like one of the bones in his arm didn't. And so he just has like a 5 foot tall. What do you call that? An ulna?
You just have a big elbow.
I'm gonna beat somebody with it.
And then after like a second, like that's just what causes the pain, is that just like some part of you stays at that normal size for just a moment before it pops back into place.
Oh.
Are you okay, Luce?
that was gross.
Fine. Hey, at least it didn't come out of the skin. Ah, shit.
God damn it.
All right. Shall we get to work then?
Yeah,
Rook
so
pointedly looks at Lilith.
yeah, so which one are you deciding to do first?
I think we decided the infestation.
Yeah, because that's the most money.
It's the most money for cleaning out an, pest problem.
Okay.
Pest removal services.
So, a bit of further detail on it. The guys down at the mission station are being real clever today. The mission itself is called Infestation. As I said, the rewards are any materials dropped and 300 credits each. And the reported enemies, I guess the stigma that's infesting them are known as Gilliants.
Ooh.
Anybody can make I keep saying intelligence, an intellect check, please.
11.
I got a 10.
9.
9.
3.
2. 1.
I got a 13.
Okay, so everybody but Rook.
I don't need to know. It's fine.
I would say so. Like Taka, like you've said that like you like study stigma, like that's like what you do. So you for sure know what these are. Lucier, Sigmund, you guys may have actually dealt with like a similar infestation before in your personal lives. Popoki, you've probably dealt with an infestation in your personal life, if you catch my drift.
Yeah.
Little shits were in the bush.
You had to,
Yeah.
you had to get that cream in a special comb. But
His bush had mites. Got it. Joke. We got the joke.
So, Gilliants are essentially the stigma version of fleas. They're these, but like when you blow them up to like an individual size, they are these tiny, angry, bluish purple little things that again look like a cross between like a flea and like a tick, in that they're these like insectoid things with these enormous backsides. And just a horrifying face with many tiny teeth. And they again, like they come in swarms.
I have a personal question out of game.
Yeah.
Have you ever met a tick? Like, have you ever seen one up close?
Yeah.
Why the fuck would you make those bigger? What is wrong with
I'm
you?
not saying to I mean, like, if you were to like look at one individually and like
I know.
magnify it.
But you're the person who made this, so like I have questions about you. Ugh. Okay,
This
we
is-
can get back to it. but,
Mana
like-
can attest. This is setting the bar low.
Oh boy.
Yep.
We're off to
So
a
Lilith
great
continues
start.
and says, so again, they are infesting a house in the Prominence District. And it seems that the house is owned by a businessman named Talmond Everbright, who is one of the owners of the Burns and Ballo Wand Company. And that's pretty much it. It just says that the family would greatly appreciate an extermination of their pesky problem. Once again, those that would feel like they would possibly know can go ahead and make an intellect check to see if you know anything about this Tom and Everbright or the company.
It was an 8.
I had
14.
10.
Okay, so Taka, Lucier, and Sigmund. Yeah, you guys know that the Burns and Ballo wand company is one that's been in operation for some like 900 years now. They don't try and say that they're the best. They have some very like good quality stuff, and they have like a like a premier like tier of their products. But their claim to fame is essentially good products for an affordable price. So they're not cheapest of the cheap, but they do a good job and they're affordable. Yeah, so just like with any like major company, you guys kind of know that the name like Talmond Everbright is basically one of the current owners of the company. And that's pretty much the information you guys have on it. The actual like docket of the mission has like the exact like address and things like that. But other than that, that's what you guys got.
So Teach, where are we going?
Probably to the house.
No, he's like asking for directions, like lead the way.
Yeah, let's go.
Okay, and well, so she will say like, just a bit of a pause before we completely head out. Is there any preparation or shopping anybody needs to do before we head out? Obviously, and it seems Sigmund as well can, do a bit of protecting and healing. But if anyone wants to, stock up on health potions if you need to. Anyone want to grab mana potions if they wish to. Things like that.
We got a healer. We'll be fine.
Okay.
I mean, I wouldn't mind picking up a couple of health potions. I might have a big shield, but
Okay.
not a whole lot I can do if I can't hold it.
I'm gonna ask her if I can get one of those monster crackers that she gave.
One of them Scooby snacks.
Just a little monster cracker. That's what you call it?
Animal cracker.
A communion.
Oh, does it come with wine?
I don't think
Like
so.
grape juice? Okay, all right, it's cool. It's fine. I'll take the cracker.
Did you say like Chris used? Is that what you just said?
No.
Like the what's that one guy's name? Chris?
Yeah.
Chris?
Joshua Chris?
Jeebus Chris?
She of course Nan's like, yes, of course you can go. Well, you're allowed to go buy one. They do cost money. And she's kind of giving you that look like, do you know what that is?
Yeah.
I've got the internet. I know what money is.
Okay. Well, I know as much about you as you have told me, and what Grandmaster Kaisis graciously let me know, which is that you're here.
Did we find out what our starting credits were?
You roll for them. It's in your class.
Yeah, it's based off class.
Which I think for wielders is 5d4 times 100. Let me check.
Is this the screen ball?
That's mine.
Is this
You can have it, kid.
Hunter, I thought that was you, and I was like, "Your kid voice guy, good."
No, that's
Is this a rainbow? I didn't talk like that.
I was like, "Damn."
Is it
You've been doing
44
great.
times 100?
I'm pretty sure. Yeah, I'm double checking for you.
I was gonna say mine's 46 times 10. What the shit?
Yeah.
Like I said, I'm checking.
Mine was 85 times 1 million.
All right, so wielders, your starting money is 4d6 times 10.
46. Got it. Times 10. Got it.
So I have 210 creditos. Creditas.
Sam, what are you doing? I just dragged a t-shirt in here.
She's hunting, alright? Leave her alone.
Whose is it?
What you doing over here?
Got it. Cool beans. We're ready to go shopping.
Hot
This is not
beans.
Woman? Did you stare at me in that underbite?
She can't help it. Rude.
Don't look at me with that tone of voice.
Get down.
Don't voice at me with that tone of look.
Did anyone else have to roll for their credits?
I did.
Nope.
No, I did that earlier today.
Oh, did you?
I did.
What did you get? I'm
When I
curious
was-
as to what you got.
160.
I got
Sounds about right.
170.
Yeah.
220?
Nice.
Yeah, I got
210.
3 6s and a 4.
Zach, can you give me a reason for Popoki to have that money?
Panhandling.
Got it.
Yep.
He just had
Pan-
that one ready.
Panhandling, how was it
Oh, yeah.
literally just that sign of like need money, or like were you like trying to like do something?
Um,
Or were you just jumping out of the bush?
you know what? Every once in a while, I'd probably like grow a flower out of my hand and just like hand it to somebody.
Ta-da.
Very Groot style.
I just figured he'd jump out of the bush, scare the money out of him.
Whoa.
No.
No.
Haku doesn't approve of my panhandling.
So yeah, I want to start heading to town to shop. I guess as people.
Yeah,
want
let's
to shop.
go.
Yeah, so so actually the Citadel itself has a like a large like shopping and entertainment district to the southeast, like just before you exit the grounds themselves. So obviously there are like many shops there dedicated to like to the various items that the Awakened can use. Nick, every time I fucking look at you, there's another one there. Okay, well, Hunter's in the lead, I guess. So yeah, so you guys head down that way.
Making our
So
way downtown. There goes.
so what all are you guys looking for?
Potion.
Because
And there goes another.
So I will say things like, so for convenience sake, they are called like health potions and mana potions, but because of the world that this is, you don't even need like a specialty shop to find them. Health and mana potions are essentially almost seen as like soft drinks. Like you can go to a convenience store and they're just like in the fridge section.
So I can
Okay.
buy like a fresh water for my Pokemon, basically.
Yeah, like there's soda, juice, milk, potions.
Okay.
So like, and there's all sorts of different brands and you know things that promise this and promise that, but at the end of the day, they'll all work the same and cost the same.
So presumably we would pass by one of these on our way to the rich kid section.
Yeah. Like I said, like going out, like heading out of the Citadel where you need to go. There's a essentially as you're leaving, there's like an enormous like shopping and entertainment district on like what would be your left hand side.
Okay.
So yeah, you can, and especially since this is the Citadel, like specifically those like health and mana potions can be found in like vending machines as well.
Just to be that guy, I'd like to find one that's like strictly, Boro kind of branded. I want to support my people. Get
Okay.
one of that aesthetic, just because.
Okay, well, what would be the brand name then?
Oh, I have to do. Oh boy.
Yeah, sure. Yeah, you come up with it.
Oh, okay. That's less fun. I don't know. Some kind of mineral drink.
Mineral water.
Is there?
Sort of
Yeah, I'm trying to think if
mineral water.
there's anything like if there's anything in real life that's kind of
Yeah, there's mineral water.
right. But I mean, that's not the brand name of it, is it?
Yeah.
There's probably one that's called mineral water. I wouldn't be surprised.
Okay.
Yeah.
Fair
I
enough.
think there's oh man. I'm sure there's I'm sorry, now my brain I'm thinking of one from
Well, yeah, it's like now that you
for
have
Taco
to.
up there's Monster Energy drink.
It's just called Earth Drink. That's all it is.
I'm fine with that.
It's just a can of dirt.
Cano dirt. Yeah, all right, I'm good with that.
Can of dirt.
Uh,
God bless.
instead of being called soft drinks, they're called hard drinks.
Oh no, it's starting again.
Yeah, so I'll say So you buy a brand of creature hard drinks.
Good with that.
And I'm guessing you're wanting it to be a health potion.
Health potion, yes,
Yeah.
please.
Yeah, so I believe the potions are either 50 or 30 credits. Let's see. Equipment. Yeah, a health potion is 30 credits. And that'll you drink it as a standard action and regain 1d12 health points. And it is a one-use item, and all of its contents must be drunk to gain the benefits. There are also mana potions for 50 credits, and when drank, they give you a 1d4 bonus to your next magic check.
I'm gonna get 3 of the health potions.
Okay. What flavor or flavors?
Flavors.
Yeah.
Lucier's buying 2 mana potions.
Okay.
Minty. I want minty flavors.
Okay.
Really, really bright, crisp.
So there's a mint flavored health potion, and all 3 of them are mint.
Yeah, that's
Okay.
it. Just the same. He's one of those guys. Like, I like this flavor. That's all I buy.
Right, for sure. Yeah, that's a very that seems in line with Rook. Lucier, what brand of mana potion are you buying?
Sunlight.
Did you say sunlight?
Yep.
Okay.
I've decided the creature is spelled with a K.
Okay.
Just to be that.
Fun.
Light is spelled Lyte.
No, that's perfect because that's actually the name of one of the gods.
Even better.
Okay.
Yeah,
That's how you worship.
That's the name of the fire goddess is Light, Lyte.
So I have a quick
So it's just
question.
I don't know. I'm sorry. It's just real quick. Like on the can / like on all the advertising is just like a very cartoonish caricature of her. Like,
Yep. And of course, she hates it.
oh, I'm sure she does wherever she is.
Dead.
What flavor or flavors of mana potion are available in Sunlight?
There's one that nobody buys, but for some reason Lucier likes it, and it's a combination of orange and mint.
Ugh.
Sounds about right.
And then there's one that everybody loves but Lucier hates, and it's just orange. That's all it is. I get 2 orangey mints.
Okay. Anyone else?
Question.
Well,
Oh, yes, Taka.
Does Moonstag have a
Yeah.
health potion line?
Yeah, of course they do. You can get coffee that instead of a shot of espresso is like a shot of like health potion or mana potion. And yeah, so to catch the rest of you up, there is a like the largest chain of like coffee houses throughout the world is called Moonstag.
Because Starbucks, Moonstag.
It also does fit with the lore though, as the god of the moon, Dalgos. His usual iconography is a wolf and a stag. But yes, it did start with just trying to come up with synonyms for Starbucks. So it's
Don't forget Chimera
Moonstag.
bread.
Yeah, there's
How much would a portable green fang be?
a little speaker. Again, like most things like that are going to be, real life equivalent. So like you can find a cheap one for 15 to 20, a standard one probably for like 50, and like, the more expensive ones are 100 credits plus.
I want to get one around 100 credits.
Okay. Yeah, and so that's the other thing is Bluetooth technology does exist in this world. It's just called Green Fang.
Is there any iconography guide to go with that one?
Nope.
Not yet. We're working on
It was named after a famous Draken warrior that shared the same last name, and the symbol for like Green Fang, like whenever you have to like turn on the Green Fang settings like on your tablet, are the runes of his last name, kind of made into a logo.
Listen, I both love you and hate you. Just saying.
So again, for anyone who doesn't know, that's what Bluetooth
Yeah.
is named after, like some Viking warrior named like Siegfried Bluetooth, and like the Bluetooth symbol, even though it looks like a B, is actually just like the combination of the runes like of Bluetooth's like name.
Yeah, I remember all that.
Taco will stop at Moonstag along the way and refill his little to-go thermos.
Okay.
Couple shots of espresso. Just, give it that
To
extra
be
kick.
less depresso.
Yes. I'm still depressed, but now I'm fast.
Just depressed faster.
I'm depressed, but faster.
Gotta go sad.
I'm gonna spend all my money in a camping goods store.
Okay. Yeah, so
Yeah,
again,
just-
like, things like tent, sleeping bag, all that sort of stuff is real life equivalent in terms of pricing.
Okay,
If you're
so-
wanting anything particularly magical in one way or the other, then
right,
they-
I'll probably if just like a tent, a sleeping bag, and then like some kind of like life straw like thing, if that would fit. And
I
160
would I would say the life straw thing's probably 20 credits. Sleeping bags probably close to like 50. And the tent would probably be, if you're just getting like a decent one just for yourself, is probably about 100.
Okay, I'm 10 credits short.
I have 10
So-
credits left. I have 10 credits left. You can have it.
Who can I look at bad enough that they'll give it to me?
I'll take his 10 credits and then say, if it rains, you can sleep in here with me. Me in the bush.
That's fine.
Mana.
Secretly.
Specifically
Sorry,
for
go ahead.
you, because you've been playing this the longest, I am like going forward making a change to where money, although it is primarily digital only, physical money does exist. In
Okay.
most previous versions of the game, I had made it to where there wasn't any physical money anymore. They just didn't use it at all. But especially in like a tabletop setting, that makes things a little difficult. So for that sake, like there is still mostly coin, but also like some paper money. But most things are digital. So like you all have like a bank account with this specific company that the order works with. Just like today's technology where you can, do like money transfers like with the phone and everything. That's basically how like a lot of transactions works.
Instead of PayPal, we have Money Buddy.
Now we do.
Please don't write that down. We can do better than that.
We can't, and it's already in the book.
It's already in the book.
I've already sent it to the printer. Fuck, I love Money Buddy. It's really good.
Hey, Sean, and
Yeah.
it's a question for later. Never mind.
Okay.
We did shopping.
Yes.
Yes.
Oh, So while you guys are kind of like out and about doing your thing, um, Sigmund, since it didn't seem there was anything specific you were wanting to get, as everyone else has kind of like dispersed and are buying their things, Lilith comes up to you and once again kind of reaches into her extra dimensional pocket and then pulls out this cube about 4 to 5 inches on each side. That is like small and metal, and like she hands it over to you. And when she does, it's a lot lighter than it looks. And you see on one face, the top face, when she hands it to you, there's a circle that you can just make out is like engraved into it. And she says, well, Sigmund, since everyone else is off doing their thing, I suppose I'll give you the treasure cube. If you guys are ever out on a mission somewhere, like a dungeon or like an old wizard's tower or like some ruins somewhere or something, if you come across some sort of treasure that would likely have a monetary value to it, but is in a currency that no longer exists or something like that, dump it into the cube. It will magically dissipate and end up somewhere at the order, and the equivalent amount of that treasure will be deposited into your account. Well, dispersed amongst everybody equally. Not
Oh,
including
you
myself.
said the other thing first.
I sure did. But that doesn't change how the programming of the cube works. So I'm not in control of that. Well, I was, but now I'm not. Anyways,
Okay,
keep
thanks.
it safe. Keep it safe.
Did you
Keep
just give him the
What if
mobile
I
printer?
just like pull something random off of one of the shelves and toss it into the cube? I'm not saying that I do that. I'm asking hypothetically.
There's only one way to find out.
Oh man. No.
I don't like trial by error. Come on now.
I will say, just for the sake of explanation, seeing the look on your face of like you just kind of staring at it and then like kind of glancing around, she does say, usually people, especially, you know, those who like make items here and have been through this process and know, no offense, kids like you, it won't work. It'll likely just either the stopper on the top just won't open, or if it does and you put it in, it'll basically just be like there is no teleportation inside the cube and it'll just sit in there. Because many a time there have been people who have bought something and then either tried to do that or didn't want to walk all the way back to return it, so they're just like, well, I'll just drop it in here and get my money back. So they've made precautions against such things. But I like the
So
aptitude.
if I put something non-treasure into the cube in an attempt to teleport it and get it the hell away from me, that would not work.
If the cube does not identify it as treasure, correct.
Okay.
I also wouldn't lick it. I cannot
Okay, I'll
explain
keep
to
it
you...
away from Zach then.
Fair enough.
She just is like, I don't know why, but every time I go and pick one up, that's what they tell me.
Is Rook anywhere nearby for this conversation?
You were getting... this is while everyone was out, like, getting their stuff.
Okay, so no. Okay.
So I will say, since you were just, like, getting some drinks or whatever, I'll say, like, as you're coming back, you see, like, Sigmund and Lilith having some sort of conversation, and Sigmund is holding this, like, small metal cube in his hands.
I would have had commentary if I'd heard that, but yeah, we're good.
And again, like, as you're kind of like wondering what to do with this thing, she's like, oh, and also for convenience, and she taps the top, like that circle, like it's a button, and it does, like, it goes in a little bit, And when it does, it suddenly shrinks to like like an inch on each side, so it's just like a 1-inch cube. And she says, like, just click that top button again, and it'll expand back to its normal size. All right.
I've pocketed the cube.
Good. All right. Any other shopping? Oh,
18.
I'm also guessing. Well, I'll ask Taka. Since you were going into stores and out in like a crowded public area, what did you do with Lodraken?
He would have Lodraken walk with him until they get to the edge, like where it's not possible for him to walk anymore.
Okay. Well, and that's so you actually see, like, as you're approaching the district, off to the side of it, like, you remember how in Disney Springs they have that, like, play park for the kids?
Uh-huh.
There's like a call park. And so, like, you see other, like, large and greater sized calls that, like, clearly don't fit, like, spatially with like into crowds. So you just see, like, I don't know, picture fucking whatever is over there just like hanging out.
The Ben 10 universe.
Yeah.
I kind of look at Lodraken. I'm like, do you want to
go
over
play?
there? Friends, I understand if you don't.
Is that caller daycare?
Pretty much.
Do you want to go play with the other nice monsters?
You said they were nice.
Like, it's up to you.
Well, and that's like, I will say too, like, for anyone's characters, like, personally, if you want your character to have a pet, you can. Like, they do allow pets, like, in the apartments and everything. But the Order obviously also understands that the bulk of your life isn't going to be in that apartment. So they do have, like, pet daycare services for, like, Order members that are going out on missions.
And the pet cemetery.
Well, yeah.
Oh, like where you go with that, sir.
Hey, is there any amount of shrubbery around the like Caller Park?
Absolutely. Yeah, and
I
because,
mean,
like,
we're just gonna kind of like blend into the shrubs and hang out.
okay. But yeah, so once everyone is done shopping and has gathered together again, Lilith, like, does a head count, make sure everyone's here. It counts Lodraken and Haku, like, in that count, although it takes her a while to find Haku.
That's just a bush.
He just looks at a whole line of shrubbery and he's like, "Hey, it counts."
You see, like, one eye peer open.
Well, and again, so like when callers have their calls summoned, they, you know, take on, like, certain physical attributes of their call. So, like, if she can look at Popoki and just see that he's a little bush-like, she knows he's around here somewhere. But yeah, so everyone gets gathered together. You all have your gear, have your potions, and she starts to lead you out of the Citadel proper, towards the train station to take you guys into the Prominence District.
While we walk,
Okay.
I have a question
Yes.
for her. Hey, Teach,
Yes, Lucia.
how do you make one of those? As he just, like, reaches towards her pocket and starts to just try to shove his hand in unless she stops him.
Yeah, well, and she kind of, like, looks down and just, she doesn't, like, swat your hand, but she just takes, like, a half step, like, out of the way. And just, like, under her breath, but loud enough for only you to hear, she's like, "Hands to yourself." I don't know. I bought it.
Oh, cool. How much was it?
This was a little more because it's it's the expanded pockets. It's got some defenses on it, a little bit of fire protection, and boost my magical ability a bit. So this coat itself, I think, cost me around like 3,000 credits plus, but that was also because I had it commissioned and I brought the materials in, so it was like half of what it would be retail.
That's cool.
Yes, it is. Thank you. But she still like kind of like just like tucks her jacket a little closer to her, so the pocket is like more like against her person. But as you guys make your way to the train, I'm going to use that to take our break. So we'll be back here in about 10 to 15 minutes.
10 to 15 hours. Okay.
Hopefully not. But yeah, so we'll take our break and be back in about 10 minutes.
Ribbit.
All right,
Oh, God.
and we are back from our break. So as you guys walk from outside of the Citadel towards the nearby train station, Rook, I believe you had a thought come to mind.
I did. I was going to ask Lilith what our squad ID is, or if that's something we need to be aware of. What is that?
She, like, as she's walking, like, she just stops and is like, "Oh my god, right." And she says, "Yes. So each squad is given a designation, an ID, to, you know, just for logistical purposes, I suppose, and keeping track of all that. So ours is," and she pulls out her phone. R E no T, so RT dash, and then could I have Nicholas, T, and Hunter each roll a d10?
Why can I not? There it is.
I got a 5.
551. Yep. So so
I
she shows you guys and basically just says, so you guys don't have to do anything right now. It's already in the system and everything. But yes, if anyone asks, and when we get back, I'll make sure everyone goes. And actually, we haven't left yet. Everybody turn around. And she just turns the whole group around, and you guys walk back into the Citadel. And you head directly towards that main building that I had described last time. Which, so for you, Zach, like at the very center of the entire grounds of this place is this enormous, like white marble and gold decorated building with 6 spires of different height protruding from the top of it. And this is the Millions building, which is essentially the main political and logistical hub for not only the Citadel and this portion of the Order, but the entirety of the Order of Nations. And so she leads you guys around the main fountain square, which again, at the very center of this is this gigantic stone fountain spewing this crystal clear water that must have some sort of enchantment on it, as in this early morning sun, as the light hits it, you watch as it gleams, as these tiny points of almost starlight bounce off and reflect the top of the water. The very top of which is held up by 6 figures of 6 of the different races, holding up the very top of the fountain. And again, for those of you in the know, so probably everybody but Popoki, who's probably never taken a history class a day in his life.
Nope.
These are the 6 founding members of the Order of Nations. A Breezen very clearly missing from among their ranks. So anyways, you walk around this enormous centerpiece and into the main building. And the inside, especially this like center foyer, is as grand as you would expect it to be for as large of an organization as this is, in as ostentatious of a building as this is. But Lilith seems to know her way around, and she leads you guys kind of like forward and behind like the main help desk, and like into a set of elevators that like goes up 5 floors. She gets off and like goes down these to you guys like an absolute maze of a building, but she knows right where she's going, and eventually gets you guys to this small office where all of you are handed your IDs. Well, your new ones. All of you had them as students, probably getting one like each year as it progressed. But now all of you have a brand new ID. As they have you stand there for like a new portrait. The very top of it is now emblazoned in a light blue color to symbolize your rank. And it has your, just like a driver's license has your like basic information on it. The two new things, as opposed to your student, however, is it lists your master as Master Lilith, and it has that squad ID on it, RT551. And so, like, as everyone is like going through the process of like getting their ID and everything, Lilith is like standing there, like making sure, like, okay, we did that. I gave them the treasure cube. They have their new IDs. We're going on the mission. Okay.
A quick question.
I think that's everything.
Who gets the bad ID picture in the group?
Who the fuck do you think?
That'd be me.
I was gonna say it was between Luce and Key.
I'm definitely blinking and like about to sneeze.
The picture is taken mid sneeze, so you're just
Perfect.
as Lilith is going over the list, she had mentioned that her lab coat's supposed to be fire resistant.
Oh.
So Luz is just like, he's just like,
Do I see this?
Yeah.
I tap him on the shoulder and it was just like, don't do it.
I have to know for science.
I was just about to say, like, but science.
I turn back. Is she looking at me yet?
No, she is very clearly busy with other things.
I'm just gonna scoot behind you and just go, do it.
Can I see if I can cast a small ball of like magic energy around the tip of his finger to cut off the oxygen to the flame that he started?
Yeah, like without too much worry, like you just like look over and see this and just like point in that direction, and Lucia, you see like a small shield appear like over the tip of your finger that like quenches.
I turn the shield into pure oxygen.
Well, that would make it explode. So,
Magic contest?
How far is all this happening away from me?
You're getting your picture taken. Don't worry about it.
Okay. I like that. That's good. I'm good. All right, cool. All of my guilt is now gone.
All right, so I'll say Sigmund and Lucier just make magic checks. Not hitting any specific.
Oh,
DC.
I'm not gonna fight him. If he wants to blow his hand off, let him. I don't care.
Oh, okay. Then yeah, it just happens, and Lucier, like you weren't expecting him to do that, so it just you take 1 point of fire damage, as it like quickly engulfs like the top of your hand before you're able to pull it away. Clearly hearing the whoosh of that, like she kind of like turns around.
Was my hand close enough to have caught the edge of her coat at least?
I just immediately point at Luce.
She just looks between the three of you and like looks at you, Lucier, and like she takes a deep breath and she puts up her hand, she puts up a finger. You see the tip of it light with a bit of fire, and she just puts it on her shoulder, and you see nothing happening. She's like,
oh, that's cool.
there you go. If you wish to experiment next time, please ask before lighting somebody on fire.
Right.
Consent is important, kids.
Hey, do you care if I light you on fire? What?
So, everybody gets their stuff. You guys head back out and get on the train and start heading towards the Prominence District, I think is what I said. Yes, the Prominence District, which again it's only about a 20-minute train ride. As you guys pass through the outskirts of the city and eventually start weaving into it. And again, this city is very much like, really think like Tokyo in its like scale. It is the single largest city in the world. Its population density in the millions, multiple millions. And you're heading to like the richest part of it. We'll say you guys arrive there about between like 11:30 and noon. You guys follow Lilith in the direction of the address that's part of the mission report. And eventually you do arrive at what most of you would consider a mansion. It is a stone fenced and gated house. That the iron gate of it has like a large fancy bee in the center of it. There's even like as if it needed to be punctuated even more, like just off to the side of the gate there's an emblazoned metal placard that says like Everbright Manor. And so like standing in front of this, like Lilith just kind of like looks up at the whole thing and like looks to the side and sees the little like intercom and like goes over and just like hits the button. And couple moments later, you guys hear a voice crackle on the other side that says, Everbright Manor, can we help you? And she just kind of like leans in and is like, hi, yes, this is Master Lilith. I and my apprentices are here for... And like as she's talking, she gets cut off as you hear a hello. And she kind of stops mid-sentence. Is like,
Teach, you gotta push
hello?
Push the button again.
So you guys are saying that, and then at the same time, like the voice on the other end is, if there's anybody there, you need to hold down the button to talk. And she's like, oh. And so she like pushes and holds down the button. And is like, hi, this is Master Lilith. I'm here from the Order of Nations with my apprentices here to take care of. And again, before she can even finish, the gates like shudder for a second and then start swinging inward. And the voice on the other end is just like, come in.
Just by the way, since we've gotten into this district, Luce has been using their green fang to play lifestyle of the rich and the famous. just quietly, not like blasting full volume like some assholes do, but
right. But just quietly so that your group gets the understands the irony.
Yeah.
I like it.
Sigmund, do you make any mention of the fact that this is where you live? Obviously not this house specifically, but like that you live here.
No, I don't bring it up.
Okay. So, you guys head on in. Up the long and like curved driveway up to the enormous doors of this manor. And Lilith goes to knock on the door, And she gives it a couple taps, and once again, almost immediately, the doors open, and there you see a
Murder next.
an elderly Lumerian man, very very well kept, very good posture, and in a like a butler's outfit with like white gloves, whole shebang, including a magnificent big bushy and curled mustache that is as white as his hair.
Well, that is his hair, so
Right.
I already like him.
And he like opens the doors inwards and then like steps to the side, like ushering everybody in.
Sean, I need you to look at Mana's screen.
I know, I see.
Okay.
And as you guys are walking in, like there's a there is like a nice kept like welcome mat out front, and like Lilith like does like scrape her boots against it a couple times and like looks back and is just like, now don't be rude, everybody, make sure your feet are clean, as she steps inside.
I use magic to transmute any dirt on my boots into air and or water and scrub.
Okay. Yeah, you just kind of essentially like prestidigitation in a way.
No, I use magic to transmute. No. I said what I said.
I'm just gonna
I know
clean
what
my
I'm on about.
I'm guessing everybody but Popoki follows the.
I kind of like take my dirty flip flops off, and then exposing even dirtier feet. I'm just like, should I just leave these out here, or what? What do I do?
Lilith kind of looks back at you and is like, right.
Like some booties, got like a little slip cover.
And you actually see, like, before she can like think of a response or what to do, the butler actually comes over and, like, very similarly to Lucier, just kind of like waves his hand, and you see this like light blue like magic kind of like sweep under your flip-flops, and like as he kind of like turns his hand, it like all of the dirt and grime that was on the bottom of them like balls itself into this sphere of gross, and then he just like makes a flicking motion and it just arcs out over the property and over the side of the fence.
Please tell me the bush shoots out a tentacle to grab it.
No, my dirt.
You do indeed hear someone on the other side of the stone fence go, "What the fuck?"
It's a parrot.
And he just gestures again for everybody to come in. So once everyone's inside, he closes the doors, and as he does, like, so in this main foyer, again, big lavish house, big lavish foyer, open, mostly made of like nice fine marble, and there's like a curved staircase in the center of it that leads, up further into the mansion. And as you guys arrive, coming down the stairs, you see a middle-aged child of the sun Lumerian man, with golden hair that is starting to turn like a grayish white, also with a very nice curled mustache, though this is more of like a pencil mustache, dressed in like very fine clothes, like a vested long shirt and like nice pressed pants, a belt made of like beautiful leather with like a golden buckle on it, that as he gets closer, you guys can see it says like B B and B on it with like the ampersand. And on his right side, in a very fine looking holster, you see a exceptionally nice looking wand. And
And how freaked out is Lilith by that wand?
I mean, you're behind her, but you see that her head's definitely following this individual as he's coming down the stairs.
Luce, when he first sees this man, he kind of looks back and forth between the butler and this individual coming down the stairs, and then just touches his lip like, I want a mustache. I use transmutation magic to grow a mustache.
Well, you can try.
Well, yeah. So first of all, do you really?
Yes, but it's
Okay.
going to look really bad.
Make a moderate magic check for me. I guess I'll give you transmutation to try and extend your little baby hairs.
That's a 18, which beats the check.
Yeah, it sure unfortunately does. So yeah, just try and imagine like preteen peach fuzz, but the length of an actual mustache. So it's like
very patchy.
It's kind of, yeah, and it's like kind of like translucent and like more like this like whitish creamy color, but not like it should be.
It's somewhere between the big bushy curl and then the thin pristine curl.
Right,
it's somewhere
like,
between. And it's not at all good.
It's not at all good, and it's just on like a child's face. So like, so this individual starts coming down the stairs, and they're like, "Ah, the members from the order are here. Great. I'm hoping we can." And he glances at you, Lucier. And just there is this brief pause, but he's like, "Glad we can finally get this problem solved, I hope."
With
Lucier
us
thinks
both
it
being
looked amazing.
both being Lumerian and being like in this social class, is there anything? Is this somebody that like I would know about through my family, and maybe there's like I don't know, some sort of like additional information or something that I would know about him because of that?
I'd say make an intellect check with favor.
Yeah, Lucier thinks it looks amazing. He has this nice glimmer in his eyes, like, the really happy, proud kid.
15.
Okay. Yeah, so before he even like properly introduces himself, you know that this is Tommen Everbright. The family name has changed, but his half of the business has been in his family since the first pair started the company, that some like 900 years ago. So it is a business that has been in the family for that long. His money is not new, but they've also been able to keep it up for this long. Your father has probably made like a sly comment here and there about the fact that like nothing can be that persistently successful without some sort of sacrifices along the way. Maybe not necessarily, Tommen's or like the Everbrights in general, but something or someone was sacrificed here or there for them to keep doing what they're doing. So essentially, just like most rich people, like you don't get it by being a nice person. You've been in these circles enough to know that most of the time, any sort of friendliness or niceties that they may be doing is just all for the show, and like who knows what they're actually feeling. So like, again, to the rest of you, he's coming off very genuine, like you literally just met him. But yeah, like Sigmund, just like you just have that whether it's true or not, you just have that feeling of like, oh, okay, here we go again. So yeah, so at that point he, formally introduces himself to all of you and says, as I'm sure you're aware, my name is Talmond Everbright of the Burns and Ballow Wand Company, and we seem to have a bit of a problem in the East Wing currently, which unfortunately is where my daughter's room is, and I would like for her to be able to return to her part of the manor without any sort of danger afoot. But I, instead of hiring something a little more personal, I thought I would present it to the order, and it seems what I wish to happen actually did happen. A couple young ones here to get themselves out of the green, as it were. Is this he kind of just eyes everybody.
When his eyes go across me, yeah, I'm just like,
and he definitely like, again, there's a moment where he's scanning everyone and just kind of stops on you for an extra second before continuing, and just says, I'm guessing this is probably one of your first missions out, isn't it?
I'm letting Lilith answer that one. I'm just standing at attention.
Okay. Yeah, so she kind of nods and says, yes, Mr. Everbright. My name is Master Lilith, and these are my apprentices, Taka, Lucier, Rook, Sigmund, and Key. So did you bring Haku inside? Is there just a bush standing next to these people?
Yeah, he's gonna be here.
Okay. And Taka, what have you
anticipate him yet? So he's just gonna be hanging out.
Yeah. Taka, what have you done with Lodraken, especially since he wouldn't have fit on the train?
No.
really?
When we got he would have sent him away at that point and just told him, I'll scope out the grounds once we get there, and if I can summon you, I will.
Okay. Yeah, so as they did so, basically as you guys got on the train, you would have seen Taka normally for the very first time. Because he's had Lodraken, since you guys met him, but after that, you see more of, the picture I showed you with, the more, laxed hair and actual human appearance. Yeah.
Looks kind of Draken, but there's clearly something different about him.
So he has this, darkish gray hair, but you do see the tips of it fade to white, which is the signature of the Breezen race. Yes, so after giving that brief introduction, Talman does look directly at you, Sigmund, and says, Sigmund, my boy, I didn't expect you to be here, so close to home. How's your dad?
Bitter and spiteful as always.
Oh. Well, he says, well, no time like the present. If you follow me, I'll take you to where our issue has arisen. And so he finishes coming down the stairs and starts leading you guys to the east part of the manor. And again, so you guys pass through, all sorts of greeting rooms and meeting rooms and parlors and, just all all the assortment of grand and unnecessary rooms you would find in a house this big. All of them filled with opulence and unnecessary objects just to let people know that they have money.
4 different sitting rooms just because.
Yeah. You do also see that the butler's following behind you guys, constantly zapping away the dirt that Hakutaku is making. And so eventually you guys get to a set of mahogany doors with these like golden handles. And
Is mahogany. Anyway, sorry.
Tommen like looks back like as everyone like comes to a stop. Tommen looks back at the butler and says, like, you may go now, that's okay. And like if anyone looks back, you just see the butler who has like this like bead of sweat just from the strain, just like gives like a bow and then like turns and leaves to go do whatever fucking else he needs to do. And Tommen says, now we've managed to keep the infestation, as I said, just to the east wing, which is just past these doors and then just past the next set of doors. So I suppose I'll leave it to you. And he just kind of steps aside. And Lilith, who's obviously been at the front this whole time, kind of turns around to you guys as well and says, all right, is everybody ready for whatever it is we're going to find in there? Now, again, these are teeny tiny little things, but swarm, so I'm guessing there's a lot of them. Again, please, everybody, and she kind of poignantly looks at you, Lucier, and at you, Popoki. It's like, keep any property damage to a minimum. Okay? The order will take care of any sort of financial compensation. And as she says that, she also kind of gives like a sidelong look at Tommen to kind of like tell him that too. But it would still look worse on us the more they have to compensate. Do we all understand?
So
No
make
breaks,
it pure
though.
oxygen and light it. Got it.
I don't know you well enough to know if you're joking or not, so I'm just going to tell you no.
Oh, I'm kidding. I know. Yeah, I know.
Okay. All right. Well, again, be cautious and be ready, but don't be afraid. As I said, I intentionally chose missions that shouldn't be too dangerous and nothing that I wouldn't be confident I could single-handedly get us out of. Okay? Everybody okay?
Is there anything that these little things are weak against, like a certain element?
Is she like checking her phone? It's one of those. Hang on, let me
checking
actually
her big brain, more like it.
just see her loading.
A buffer wheel appears in front of her face.
In her buffering phase, I'm gonna summon my shield.
Okay. She does look at you, Lucy, and says, "I'm glad you asked. I'm glad somebody asked. They really don't like the cold."
Oh, sweet.
Interesting.
So, all right. I'm still going to go in the back. So, everybody line up, and I'll let somebody take point. And she just steps to the side and moves to the back.
I have an idea that might work, maybe.
I'm listening.
Mm-hmm.
With some transmutative things, I can maybe make a wall of cold to push things back into a specific area or deter them from being right up on us.
Okay.
If we can corral them all in a specific area or a lot of them into like a specific pocket, then I can form a bubble around them and, I don't know, cut off their oxygen, crush them with it, do something.
question, Storymaster. Outside, was there any area big enough for me to summon Lodraken?
Yeah, I mean the grounds themselves are enormous.
Okay. He's like, well, I could position, because this is something he would have done prior to coming in because I didn't get the chance to establish it. So he would have had Lodraken summon on the outside, on the grounds, and it's just like, I can move Lodraken into position, and you can just throw the bubble. It's like a skeet shoot. Just pull. There's that too.
I'm gonna volunteer to go point, but I do like the idea of using the coldness to try and keep them not in my personal space.
So why don't I get like right next to you and keep a wall of cold in the front?
I like it.
How big are these doors, by the way? Like,
Again,
dimensions?
like normal size doors, it's just that it's a double door. So, and that's what I was gonna ask is like as you guys go in, you'll be able to go like 2 at a time.
Two by two, we're marching door to door.
Yep, that's yep. So, what is the order that you guys are going in? I do have Popoki and Hakutaku next to each other, as I figured that's what you guys would do.
Yeah, we'll probably bring up the rear, honestly.
Okay.
Rook and Loose are in front, I think.
There is a thought that I have. Your coldness might actually be more useful making sure they don't get back out these doors. We have no idea what we're walking into.
Well, I can just freeze the doors once we shut them behind us, and then thaw
Okay,
them when we come
just-
back out.
Just keep that in mind. If we walk in and they're going to be bum rushing the door, we might need that sooner rather than later.
Okay. Well, before we go through the door, I will actually bring up a area of cold in front of us that will at least take up the door, and just as we move, I'll push it forward.
I think that makes sense.
Okay. Yeah, of just like cold air.
Yeah, to start, I want it to be like almost freezing temperature.
Okay. Go ahead and make a moderate magic check for me, and I'll give you your college for this.
Okay. 18, so that makes it.
Okay. Yeah, absolutely, no problem.
So as you all look, you just see kind of like a blue aura of just the cold almost makes mist in a certain area. So there's like a faint blue light, and then there's just faint blue mist constantly coming out of an area in front of us as I just hold up a hand and push it forward. As I assume we go in towards and through the door.
Yes.
I'm in. Ready.
All right. So, and again, just to make sure, I've got Lucier and Rook in the front, and then Sigmund and Taka in the middle, Popoki and Hakutaku in the rear for you guys, and then Master Lilith is in the very back behind all of you.
Yep.
All right, give me just a second to finish this up. No, that's not it.
Let's go.
Give me a second, Daddy.
Um,
Don't ever let
I
that
wish
happen
you
again.
hadn't said that.
yeah,
Hey, me.
It's like our views just dropped to 0.
It's just like, all right, I'm done.
It's like, I'm out.
I quit watching. Goodbye.
All right. So, Rook, I'm guessing you'll be the one opening the door since Lucier is
My
busy
son tells me
keeping
everything.
is
Yes.
like keeping the magic up. So again,
Yes.
you go ahead and like everyone kind of prepares. You pop the doors open, and you see a hallway. Just about 20 feet. But again, just wide enough for you guys to go two at a time. And so you guys progress into this hallway, and like you all fit there, and then Lilith closes the doors behind you guys.
When she does that, I want to coalesce any moisture in the area
Okay.
to freeze the doors, and
Behind you.
yeah, like make a wall of ice, not just freeze the doors, but also like encase it in ice from the side.
Yeah. Go ahead and just make an intellect check and do it with favor. As you're basically like you're already kind of creating that, so it's just shifting it to like encase the door.
Yeah, well, I want to keep that going in front of
I
us
know.
too. I just also want to seal.
Yeah.
But I got a 13
Okay.
on just pure intellect. I didn't
Yeah.
add anything else.
That's good enough. So yeah, you kind of take like some of that and shift it backwards to freeze the door behind you. But you still maintain this kind of wall of cold in front of you. So yeah, so basically like at the other end of this hallway is like another set of like very nice like mahogany wood doors with golden handles. Everyone make intellect checks for me.
Oh boy.
Okay, 2, 9, 3,
11.
11.
14.
Okay, anyone above a 5 can hear. Does everyone here like stirred a pie or a cobbler?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Oh.
it's
Stirring their mac and cheese.
yeah, it's kind of like that, but a little more clicky and insectoid.
You're insectoid.
You hear that noise very quietly from the other side of these doors.
Listen, you're a wonderful story master, but you make me have questions.
That's why I'm here.
Okay. I
Oh.
didn't hear that, so I'm just. Yeah.
Does everybody hear that?
Hear what?
That, and I point to the doors like you don't hear that.
Once it's pointed out, and the two of you that didn't hear it kind of like listen in a little closer, the noise starts to hit you.
Okay. Yeah, now I can hear what you're talking about. That sounds like a lot of whatever that is.
If two people want to open the doors, then I could just send a huge blast of cold through the doors as they open to kind of push anything back.
Okay. I can be one of the people to open the doors.
Yeah, I'll do it.
Uh,
I have an idea.
Sigmund, do you want to go ahead? Sorry.
I'm gonna kind of plant my shield in front of the doors with enough space to be able to open them, and then just leave it there. And I want you to blast your cold around that. That way, we still have some kind of shield, but I don't get hit in the back with whatever you're blasting.
Oh,
Makes
the way I
sense.
picture it was like you two to the sides, you pull the door open, and I just shoot through.
Yeah, I'm thinking the same thing, but you still have a shield in front of you, just without
fair.
me behind the shield.
Oh, I see what you're saying. Gotcha.
Yeah. I want you to have my shield, but I don't want to be in the way of your ice. So I'm just gonna leave it here in front of you, and then I'll go open the door and get out of the way.
Sigmund, do you want to aid in the ice blast? Maybe.
Well,
empower it a little bit together?
I didn't know. I feel like it depends on what the cold is going to do to them, because if we're looking into the doorway and you blast the cold through and what it does is make them disperse, then they're going to be out of the line of fire that we're going to have when we're looking through the doorway.
Do we know what's on the other side of the door? Besides
don't
just the
think we have any
creatures, like
idea.
the blueprints, what's it laid out like?
Sean, if
Michael-
you have not drawn detailed floor plans for this house, I'm going to be so upset.
Oh God.
and like Lilith from the back is like, no, sorry, they just said to come. Like you at this point that we're standing here, everyone knows the exact same stuff.
Well,
including
in that
me.
case, we could turn the doors into to be transparent. I mean, transmutation, right?
We could open the door. I could put up a barrier, and then at least we could see what's on the other side of the door.
That could work.
Fair enough.
How quickly do you think you could pop that barrier up?
I want to say very quickly, but I guess we'll just have to find out.
Taka, you have a flashback to like 2 hours ago.
That was just an unfortunate roll.
I feel like
Everybody has performance issues.
Because, like,
Fine.
basically, like, Taka has this thought of, like, Sigmund just said that he's really good with the timing of his shields.
When I roll something that's better than a 4, I do fine.
Okay, well, you know what? We're just gonna be it's gonna be what it's gonna be.
Boy, isn't that correct one way or the other.
And if we pop it open and I get the barrier up and we can see into the room and we can see what's in the room, and then we'll figure out how we want to utilize the cold to like best give us the best chance.
Is there a way that Lucier, can you potentially help him with his shield? Is that something you can do?
yeah, I'm not a shield guy, but I can still help. Yeah.
Well, yeah. So, and I did want to bring this up that this game does have a spell assist, where so multiple individuals can assist in a singular spell. Yeah. So basically, like if you look at the like the magic check table, you'll see one of the modifiers says like spell assist. So, and like Lilith is there too and says, you know, as a caster, she can help in whatever you guys need. So, any additional caster that is essentially using their, you know, part of their turn or whatever it is to assist a spell gives the whoever is actually casting it a +1 bonus to their magic check. So at the very least, like in this situation, like whatever you guys are doing, someone will likely get like a +1 or a +2 on top of all the other bonuses.
Okay.
Hey, Teet, you want to help us with the barrier since you know, a couple hours ago you didn't quite time it so well?
I just one mistake.
Fine.
Oh, I made a mistake too. I made a kind of big boom a while ago. Didn't really think about pure oxygen.
And that's why I'm here. So yes,
Mistakes happen. It's
yes,
fine.
we. I will assist whoever's creating the barrier with that.
Okay, so who's helping me open a door?
Yo.
Okay, let's get set up.
Yeah, I just walk on over and
Awful.
get
All right. I guess we go on 3. So on 3, we'll swing the doors, and you guys get that barrier up.
Un, dos,
Good.
trois.
Pull.
And that's where we'll end it for today.
Man, we're finally about to fight something.
You son of a
Well, it's so, like,
brachiosaurus.
like getting into combat for T, like we wouldn't get done till like obscenely late for him.
Yeah, and
No,
that's
it's
mostly
fine.
it's mostly just the time. Like I usually say between 9 and 9:30, but if we're starting combat at like 9:23 our time.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
So sorry for not getting to combat quicker, but that'll
That's
leave us on a good cliffhanger for everyone to return next week.
You're
And
a
next week we'll
cliffhanger.
get to see combat. Woo!
Yes, we'll finally get some combat. 3 episodes in.
Well, you gotta establish character.
Yeah, it's and that's the thing is like that I'm hoping any audience members may give us a bit of a break on, I'm trying to give myself a bit of a break on, is I know, like, most of the times beginning of campaigns are a little bit of a slog anyways, because it is introducing a lot. I'm introducing an entire game and an entire setting, so it is a bit slow at the beginning. There were even stuff like in this session I was like, oh, I need to describe that and how that works, and it's like, no, just get them there. But
You're slow at the beginning.
Nailed it.
That's the best I got. So yeah, so thank you everybody who tuned in, anyone who's watching in the future. We will see you all here next Wednesday for episode 3 of The Last Ingress. Have a good night, everyone.
Bye.
Bye.